Hi, welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to take what we've learned so far and apply it to some just basic mixing. Might seem like review, but I think it's the best way to learn. If you think it's too elementary, then skip on to the next video. We're going to set up the board to basically mix this tune that has 24 tracks of sound. And the way I've got it set up is I'm actually playing back into the actual physical inputs. I'm not using Firewire or anything like that. We actually have a rig set up to simulate a live band setup. This song is a pop tune. It actually features a program beat along with full drums, guitars, synth, bass, and background vocals, a couple lead vocal tracks as well. Now, we're not going to apply effects. We're not going to do a lot with the Fat channel, but we're just going to show you if you're thrown into a situation where you have to get a band mixed, these are the essential things you need to do to get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the main off. I'm going to start playback. So then I'll hit the input so that I've got the input meters going so you can see the meter bridge. Now we want to check the input levels so we can adjust the mic line to make sure that our gain is coming up somewhere near halfway. You can see on our snare, we might want to add just a little bit more gain to get the snare a little higher. Of course, you do this while you're listening to the sound, but I don't want it overwriting what we're doing here. These are toms. We don't want to get too crazy with that because they usually don't hit that often. We may not even want to include these in our mix. Then we have left and right overheads. So on the left and right overheads, let me get the input going again. You can see what we've got. I want to make sure that the left and the right overheads are fairly balanced. You can see one's a little bit hotter than the other. And I'm going to stereo link these. So I'll select it here. We'll just leave that panned all the way left and right. Now in the room mics, I'll select it. We'll also do stereo linking there. Now the level looks fairly good here on the room mics. If we want, we can turn them up. You can see that they're not really, the gain's not really set equivalent. So I'll get that up. I'm typically trying to get the meters sort of in the mid-range of full scale. We really don't want to drive it that hard with digital boards. The other thing to point out is when I hit select here, this level meter here is actually showing the gain. So I don't have to be in the meter bridge mode where I have the input on. I can always just refer up here. So I'm going to go to the beat, take a look at the beat. Well, I'm also going to do stereo linking on that. And you can see how that's set up here. This is a pre-programmed beat that's being played back. And if we want to adjust those separately and make sure we're seeing it, you can see right here we're coming right in the middle of the scale. Now here's our bass. If we select the bass track, the bass goes right up here. That looks good. Then we'll move on to guitar. Looks good. Guitar looks good. Piano, great. Synth, I'm not sure how much that's playing. That looks great. If we want to actually hear it, let's hear it. All right, so we've got those set up, and we'll just quickly check the other ones. It looks like we've got a space guitar up here on 19. We'll just add a little bit more of the mic line to get a little bit more gain up there on channel 19. This background vocal is not, you can see that really jumped up there, so I might have that too hot. So let's just listen to that.
Baby, hold my hand. Ooh, I'm done running.
All right, let's try the next one.
I'm breathing one breath at a time.
All right.
Yeah, and know that I stand
All right.
right by your side in all these good and bad times. Oh, I'm done running. I think it's time to call this.
All right, so that is sort of my virtual sound check. You can do it a couple of ways. You can pull all the faders down and put up the one, or you can use solo in place. And as you solo it, then you'll hear only the things that are soloed. Now, one other thing we need to check is to make sure that everything is routed to the main. And so this is sort of like a checklist item. Unless you've recalled this and you know what's going on with your mix, we want to hit every single channel and make sure that it's sent to the main. So all of these, this one is not. The overheads are not sent to the main. So we want to turn that on so that we send them out to the main. That was a good catch. Takes just a few seconds to flip through all of those. And with that, I think we're ready to go. I'll hit play again. I've got this set in a loop, so it'll keep playing back and looping back. So I'll get started with this beat. I'll spend maybe a minute just getting a basic mix going for this tune. All right, so I spent a little time, made some really basic decisions about what to do with these. I'm mixing this in stereo because it sounds better on a recording, and it's a little bit more like a studio setup than it would be if I was in a club and mixing in mono. The procedure is basically the same thing minus the linking and setting the panning, but it's a lot more fun when you're in a studio situation to actually hear that panning, get a bigger, fuller sound. So anyway, that's a demonstration of the basics of mixing with the StudioLive board. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.